In the words of a very jolly man, ho ho ho. I ho ho hope you're all having a happy holiday season, and a very Merry Christmas to my fellows who celebrate. It's been an interesting year for me, for all of us, both on and off the channel, but here we are, at the end of it. Guess we survived another year, didn't we? But I know what you've been up late at night, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep, wondering about. You've been curious what games I played this year and which ones I liked the most. So because you wanted to know so badly, I made this video for you. There is no particular order since I enjoyed all of these games for various different reasons, but I would be a lying fool if I didn't start off with the big, delicious, truly holly experience that is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. And I know what you're thinking, but Bandit, didn't you hate Tears of the Kingdom? What in the season's greetings are you doing talking about it here then? Didn't you make like 3 videos criticizing Tears of the Kingdom? Yes, I did. But it's still a really fun game. I spent hundreds of hours playing Tears of the Kingdom, so of course I enjoyed it. I was itching for a nice, new, open world, sorry, that was actually Breath of the Wild footage I was showing there, not, Tears of the Kingdom. I get them confused sometimes. Anyway, like I was saying, I was itching for a nice, new, open world explorative experience, and Tears of the Kingdom scratched me real good. So I recommend it to anyone. Let it grow you as a player as you experience just how it feels to plummet from a sky island all the way to the ground, turning Link into a Hylian pancake. Let it immerse you in its rich environment that includes a Colosseum match against 5 Lionels. Let the weirdest, most unholy combinations come to mind as you play around with the brand new Ultra Hand mechanic, and let it cause your adventures to allow you to soar high above the Sky Islands. Let it scratch you. But the latest Zelda game didn't come out till like May, I think. Yeah, May. That's like half the year gone. So of course I played games before that, and one of these games in particular also just so happened to be one of the most impactful games I've ever played in my life. Huh. It's called Outer Wilds. It's one of those games that most people have heard of at one point or another, but also most people haven't gotten around to playing yet. And I'll admit, I was one of those people too. In fact, I bought the game years ago and tried it out for like 5 minutes and then just let it sit in my Steam library, abandoned and forgotten about. You know, like Zelda lore. It has literal space exploration with different planets you can seamlessly land on that each come with their own interconnected puzzles to solve and quirky lovable characters and amazing space mechanics to master. Or not master, if you're like a certain someone. But most of all, a deeply emotional story that comes out of nowhere and slaps you good and hard. In a good way. I strongly recommend Outer Wilds to anybody who enjoys being slapped, and even if you don't. And it's on sale right now actually. It's only $15 I think for the entire base game, or $24 for the base game plus the DLC, which is just as good as the base game, if not even a little bit better. You can even roast marshmallows over the fire and eat them when they're cooked just right. Or, you know, burn them directly in the flames like a psychopath. Which is what I did. I could go on about how it saved my life and solved world hunger, but I mean, at this point, you get the point. Also, as a side note, people who have played this game love it to bits, and swear to never spoil this game to new people who have yet to play it, which is why you rarely see discussions about it online. And trust me, after you go through it, you'll understand why. I am partially ashamed to admit that I have delved back into World of Warcraft this year, like a druggie, who just can't quit. In my defense, I have been playing the game since its launch, way back when in 2004, cause I'm that old. And ever since then, I've never really been able to stay away for more than like a year or 2 at a time, which definitely sounds very healthy. But I have been a part of that universe for well over half of my life at this point, and I just don't know what I'd do without it, damn it. But in the recent expansions, Blizzard has actually handled the story pretty poorly, in my opinion, which had been keeping me away pretty effectively ever since Shadowlands, which was the last expansion. But then they pulled the big one. Oh yeah. They thought to themselves, you know what? Who cares about the story? You know what people actually like? Dragons. Then they looked at us players and said, hey kid, you like dragons? Be a dragon. And damn it, now I'm a dragon. I've always been a Pally main though, because paladins are the only real choice in this game, so I've enjoyed bringing my paladin, my new dragon dude, and some other toons to max level. I've enjoyed it for the most part. I'll admit though, I don't really care about the main story currently, and I take some issue with Blizzard's repeated laziness, which you can see while playing the game. For instance, on the new dragon people, they refused to make all the armor appear on their characters because, I don't know, it would just look too awkward or take too much time to animate, and they randomly switch between hand-animated cutscenes and just in-game emote cutscenes, which is jarring at best. But I digress. On the other hand, you can fly dragons with physics-based momentum now, which is really cool. So that already spices my apple cider, but what really roasts my chestnuts is World of Warcraft Classic. Currently, they're on the old Wrath of the Lich King expansion, which in my opinion and a lot of other players' opinions is peak World of Warcraft. I have 2 characters currently at level 70, I know that's not max level, but if you can't understand how big of an achievement that is, then you just need to play WoW Classic, okay? In addition to World of Warcraft, though, I also picked up Hearthstone again this year. Not that I'm much good at it, and by that I mean I'm amazing at it. Once again, I main a paladin because that is the only real choice in any game, but I also dabble with my warlock, druid, priest, and death knight decks from time to time. What can I say? Me and Blizzard, we go way back. Actually, I wish we could go way back to when I was a kid and didn't know about all the ethical no-nos that have been going on in their workplace. But hey, all I can say is 1, I want justice for everybody who was wronged, 2, their CEO is out in about 4 days, and 3, it's Christmas, so we're moving on. I wonder what game I'll talk about next. Must have been a pretty wonderful game to have made it on this list, right? Super Mario Bros. Wonder kind of came out of the blue, and I don't know a better example of that than Mario's latest wonderful power-up, the Elephant Fruit, which turns whoever eats it into, you guessed it, an elephant. It's every kid's dream. I can only imagine how that conversation happened in Nintendo's creative room. Everybody was sitting around talking about new level designs and, you know, how Bowser's going to get around to stealing Princess Peach yet again in this game. And then one guy in the back was just like, "Hey, what if Mario turned into an elephant?" And then everyone just goes dead silent and stares at the guy and goes, "You're a genius, you know that? You're a freaking genius." Because seriously, any of the characters can grab one of these elephant fruits and become elephantized, and there's just no expounding on it. Nintendo really said they're elephants now. Deal with it. Truth be told, in the first few days that I was playing Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I loved its charm, as is pretty typical with Nintendo games. I mean, I didn't know that I needed wonderful singing piranha plants in my life until now, or the wondrous new badges that enhance your character's moveset. But I was still left to wonder to myself why it got a Game of the Year nomination, especially above other games that also released this year. It was good, but was it that good? It wasn't until I was about halfway through the game that all the wonder really started to just hit me. This game is chock full of more secrets than my underwear drawer, each of which feel really good to discover and work through. And after I had beaten Bowser and unlocked all the super hard secret world levels, I wondered aloud to myself, oh, so that's why it got nominated. If you haven't played it yet, do it. Seriously, why are you hurting yourself by not playing it? Just do it. I played a lot of indie games this year too, like Phasmophobia, which didn't exactly release this year, but still has a firm grip around my jingle bells. You hunt ghosts in haunted houses with friends, I mean, what's not to love? But in a similar vein, there's another indie game that just came out recently that I'm currently obsessed with called Lethal Company. And I know you've heard about Lethal Company, and for very good reason. It has that similar Phasmophobia-esque vibe of achieving a common goal with friends, all the while trying to not die a horrible death at the hands of various monsters. But seriously, it's got 9 maps called Moons to explore, each time loading in with a randomly generated facility to explore to keep you on your tippy toes, filled with randomly generated and placed loot, littered with randomly generated monsters, each of which have to be countered differently. And the game has lore! Huzzah! It's new, it's trendy, it's fun, it's cheap, it's multiplayer, it's scary, it's goofy, but best of all, it's jolly. So do yourself a flavor, go pick it up. Seriously, go pick it up. And I did play more games than just that this year, but they were mostly all games from years past, like Elden Ring, or Project Playtime, or Genshin Impact. So, I digress. Also, I'm out of hot chocolate. But what did you play this year? What did you enjoy? What did you less than enjoy? Let old Bandit know in the comments below. And while I made this video as a Christmas gift to you, You could give a Christmas gift to me by liking the video, or subscribing to stick around for lots more, or following me on my social medias. That would really put the Chris in my kringle. But above everything, of course, and as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for 2023. Here's to 2024. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!